Howdy folks, and welcome back once again to World of Tanks with a mighty Jingles, and as I'm sure you're all almost certainly well aware, the Tank Museum at Bovington's very own Tiger 131 was the star of the ultra-realistic Second World War movie Fury, starring Brad Pitt. The movie is of course chock full of magical movie moments, such as the scene where Tiger 131 gets sick and tired of popping the turrets off Shermans advancing along an open road at a range of 1,000 yards, and instead for some reason decides to abandon its camouflaged, concealed position and advance across an open field in full view to such a range where the Sherman's guns suddenly start becoming effective and they can outflank and kill it. Or my personal favourite scene in this hard-bitten and gritty war movie, where German 75mm anti-tank guns, expertly sighted and camouflaged and protected by entrenched infantry with machine gun nests as backup, couldn't knock out a bunch of Shermans advancing in the open in broad daylight across an open field and heading straight towards them with multiple shots fired at ranges of less than 500 yards. Oh Hollywood, you so silly. Still, Fury was at least enjoyable, and if movies like Fury encourage people to head down to the Tank Museum and actually find out some real stuff about the machines involved in these battles, then, well, it's done its job as far as I'm concerned. Likewise, World of Tanks, because those lucky console plebs have done it again. They've got Tiger 131 available as a premium tank in World of Tanks console. They've got the Fury as well, of course, but we don't really care about that because we've got the Fury here on PC. What we don't have is Tiger 131. And just to rub it in the noses of the glorious PC master race, console peasant Jack the Ripper, World of Tanks EU console community contributor, has sent me a Tiger 131 battle on... Well, I have to admit, I didn't actually recognise the map at first. Go on, you tell me what map this is. Yeah, no, this is Mountain Pass. But it's Mountain Pass with a winter skin. Is there no limit to the kind of goodies that these console plebs get that we don't get on PC? Tiger 131 here on the console is a premium tier 7 heavy tank. However, it is exactly the same as Tiger 131 as seen in the movie Fury. So it looks exactly the same as Tiger 131. It's got all that vegetation as camouflage, the various different blankets and extraneous bits and pieces dotted around the exterior of the hull, just like in the movie. But there's one other thing sticking out of the tank that's exactly the same as in the movie, and that's the gun. Unlike the non-premium Tiger, which has the unhistorical option of fitting the long-barreled L71 KWK-43 88mm gun, a gun that was only ever really fitted to the Tiger II, never the Tiger I, but you can fit it to the Tiger in World of Tanks. Not so on Tiger 131. This has the screen and historically accurate Tiger armament, the KWK-36 L56 88mm gun. Now that's a gun that you typically find on the German Tier 6 heavies and mediums like the VK3001P and the VK3601H. The Tiger 131 is a Tier 7 premium. Doesn't seem to have too many problems going through the front of an IS-2, however. That's because this is not the L56 88mm gun that everybody else gets. This thing has increased penetration with its armour piercing, 169mm. Wait a minute, Jingles, doesn't everybody else with that gun get 145mm of penetration? Yes, they do. So why does this thing get 169? Well, call me a wise and old cynic, but I suspect it's because nobody would buy it. If you had a premium tier 7 heavy tank that only had 145mm of penetration on its main gun. Still, 169mm is good, but it's still less than the 203mm that all of the non-premium Tigers get with their unhistorical gun. Yes, but they don't get preferential matchmaking like Tiger 131 does. Tiger 131 will never have to fight tier 9s. That poor bugger over there in the non-premium Tiger, he's going to have to fight E75s at some point. Tiger 131 owners never have that problem. This is a pretty close game at the moment, actually. Both teams are down 4 tanks, and Jack the Ripper is in the kind of spot that you lie awake at night dreaming of. Look at this Churchill. He's angled up. The Churchill 75mm gun is going to have a really hard time penetrating him from this kind of angle. He's got him tracked. He's got the side of the tank to shoot at. He ripped that Tiger a new one before he managed to get around the corner and into cover, and he's just taking this Churchill apart, one piece at a time. And then, oh look, here comes an AT-2. I kind of picture Jack the Ripper sitting here in his Tiger 131 on the radio just going, send more tanks. It was only at this point where I actually realised what map this was. Enemy Tiger P spotted over there on the bridge, and it was right at this point I thought, hang on a minute. Oh yeah, this is Mountain Pass. I completely didn't recognise it. I thought they were playing on a completely new console-only map. It wasn't until around about here when I'm watching Jack the Ripper putting flanking fire into enemy tanks trying to get over that bridge that I thought, oh well, I have seen this map before, it's Mountain Pass. I didn't recognise it with its winter clothes on. But anyway, back to the game. Apparently there's a Tiger on the enemy team, not the Tiger P, who didn't get the memo about the crossfire on that bridge, so there's more damage done. Tiger pulls back before Jack can get another shot off. More damage inflicted on enemy tanks trying to force that bridge. I think they're finally starting to take the hint. However, the base is starting to look kind of vulnerable. And Jack is, well, actually that works both ways because they do have a heavy tank of some description. You can't actually tell from looking at the minimap. Actually, two heavies that appear to have a clear run into the enemy base. So the situation's probably best described as fluid at the moment. Up ahead, threatening what looks like a friendly Tiger P. It's the Tiger who was trying to cross the bridge earlier. It looks like persistence finally paid off. Jack's first two shots were ineffective, but that one caused damage. He's been forced to give ground. Jack gets the shot off just before he pulls back into cover and claims the kill. However, their base is being capped. And one of the heavies, again, the information is not available on the minimap. I don't know what it was, but one of the heavies that was heading up the ice road at the top end of the map has been taken out. Enemy Tiger P and artillery have just nailed the premium Hammer Tiger that was attempting to force the enemy base, and that E25 in the cap circle has just killed a Tiger that was coming back to attempt to reset the cap. So Jack is pretty much all on his Jack Jones against this E25, who does score a hit. Now the E25 is a ridiculously overpowered machine in World of Tanks PC, but it's only overpowered because of its speed and manoeuvrability and the rate of fire of that 75mm gun. It's not really the kind of machine you want to be ramming Tigers in. Because that's not going to work out too well for you. And so Jack claims another kill. Enemy artillery, however, is proving to be a consistent pain in the arse. Now, there was a Cromwell spotted, and a dead player is busy pinging the map to bring Jack's attention to it. I suspect Jack is fully aware of the fact that on the other side of the hill, there was an enemy Cromwell. And if Jack rushes off to assist the surviving Tiger P on the team, who appears to have just found himself some enemy artillery to play with, and has killed him, so that's a bit of a relief, that's going to leave the base wide open for the Cromwell to come rushing in. However, that Cromwell player is pretty good, and he's fully aware that there's a mostly full health Tiger 131 lurking around the enemy base, so he has turned tail and he is headed back to deal with that Tiger P, who's just crossing through the enemy cap circle right now. Jack, of course, is only becoming aware of that right now as he scouts around the side of the mountain to see if he can catch the Cromwell coming to try to sneak a cap, but he's gone. So he must be heading back. And sure enough, there he is. Tiger P versus Cromwell up by the enemy base. No contest, surely. Or so you'd think, because that Cromwell has just taken out the Tiger P, which means Jack is now the last player left alive on his team. He still has most of his health. His modules, aside from his tracks, which are showing a bit of wear and tear, are undamaged, but there's still a heavy tank lurking around there somewhere. And in the absence of your familiar World of Tanks PC team lists down the side of the screen, right now I'm not entirely sure what it is. But that Cromwell is proving to be a bit of a handful. That guy really does know what he's doing. Now, it hasn't been showcased really so far in this battle, but on the 26th of January, World of Tanks console just had a major update introducing physics. It's now possible to skid, slide, and if you're not careful, even flip the tank completely in exactly the same way that we have in World of Tanks PC. And there's the enemy Tiger P. That is bad news. Tiger P has very, very strong frontal armour. Question is, does this guy know how to use it? Jack using the knocked out Tiger 131 there as cover, but the Tiger P has fallen back, so he's going to have to move forward. Remember, Jack has 169mm of penetration, and that thing has 200mm of frontal armour, except on the cheeks at the front and in the side. And he has exposed far too much of the side of the tank. Jack has blown his tracks off. He's immobilised him. He's got side shots, should he wish to take them. He does take a hit there, but who's going to reload faster, Tiger 131 or a Tiger P? Yep, it's Tiger 131. Tiger P knocked out, but where did the Cromwell go? Well, that question gets answered very, very quickly, because the Cromwell doesn't have many advantages fighting against a tank like a Tiger, but speed, manoeuvrability, and the ability to relocate very quickly are pretty much it. And he has managed to sneak all the way around and puts a shot right into the engine of Jack the Ripper's Tiger 131. But, as is probably obvious by now, that Cromwell player is nobody's fool. He's not going to sit around getting into a trading match with a tank like the Tiger. He's already made himself scarce. Now, it's 1 against 1. There are 4 minutes and 43 seconds of this game left. Jack's not going to go chasing after a Cromwell. And he doesn't have to go chasing after a Cromwell. He's expecting, based on the way this guy's played, for him to be popping up over here around about now, so he gets the gun pointing in that direction. And if it's one-on-one, Tiger versus Cromwell, you need to make the Cromwell come looking for you, because you're not going to go chasing after a Cromwell on any map. And so Jack does exactly the right thing here. He drives into the cap circle. The ball is now firmly in the Cromwell's court. The Cromwell now has to come to Jack or lose the game. There's nothing else that Jack can really do in this sort of situation, given the tank that he's driving and the opponent that he's facing. So he's attempting to make the most of a bad situation, but the problem here is that this effectively hands the initiative to the driver of the Cromwell. Over there you can see the Tiger P up on the ice road that the Cromwell knocked out earlier. And the Cromwell's got two possible choices of where he's going to approach the cap circle from. So what Jack's doing here is he's angling his armour as best as he can against the Cromwell coming from the ice road in that direction. Although, well, it's not exactly ideal. The Cromwell can still easily penetrate the side of his turret, but it'll have a hard time penetrating the side or rear at that kind of angle. And he's got the gun pointing in the direction where he's not very well angled, hoping to be able to get the first shot off. And now we wait. But Jack doesn't have to wait for very long, because Sixth Sense just went off. He's been spotted, and there was nothing around the corner where he had the gun pointing, so yep, there he is. Cromwell's fired and missed. It's going to be difficult for the Cromwell to win, but he can force a draw. And Jack's hit him. Cromwell's now one-shot kill. Pulls back. Cromwell misses. Gun's reloaded. Cromwell's obviously going to be trying to bait Jack into firing and missing here so he can get that cap resetting shot off and then relocate. Or even fake a relocation. Jack's missed! The Cromwell's coming and looking for the shot, but he underestimates the reload of the Tiger 131 and Jack kills him. Wins the game. 7 kills. And caps to 100% in Tiger 131. Premium Tier 7. German heavy tank in World of Tanks console. And he appears to have earned himself a couple of rewards. Look at that. The ones I recognise at least. High caliber ace tanker. Steel wall, invader. There's one there that I don't quite recognise. I think that's the Devastator medal, which is a console only award for getting 7 kills. One better than Top Gun. Jack the Ripper, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, World of Tanks EU console, community contributor, very small YouTube channel. He has less than 5,000 subscribers, but if he keeps playing like this, I'm predicting much bigger and better things for him. Link down below in the video description to his YouTube channel. I love the title, by the way. It's called Cosmic Carry World of Tanks Console. Diary of a Tanker. Jack the Ripper in Tiger 131, Premium Tier 7. German heavy tank in World of Tanks console. I hope you enjoyed today's video, folks, and as always, take care, and I'll catch you next time.